What's up, YouTube? It's Jordo here from dmNorthTV. I'm here to go over something that's been on our website for actually quite a while, but we've actually kind of neglected to really advertise or show how it works. It's our custom card maker. For those of you in the community who are on the creative side and like to make your own cards, we have created something on our website where you can do that for Dice Masters. We'll go over kind of the whole how to do it from top to bottom. This kind of comes up because we have recently created a little community challenge for people to make cards for a customized community team pack. So for you to participate in that, you either have to know how to use it or have your own template. So we decided we're going to go over some of the basics because a lot of questions have come up with this, and it's like I said, something kind of long overdue. So we're going to go over how to use the template, how to add images to the template, and probably the biggest question we get is the dice, how to add the dice to the template. So we'll go over that real quick, and hopefully you can get something out of this. So obviously the first thing you got to do is you got to go to our website right here below, www.dm-north.com. Head over there and that will get us started. So if you have done everything correctly, you should see something along these lines here. So where you're going to be looking here is over on the creative side, and you're going to go to the custom card template online editor. You click that button, it will bring you to this page here, and pardon me, basically read through this. The first thing you're going to want to do is download all the important fonts. I'm going to assume you know how to do that, and you're set up here. So I've got three different templates set up right now, kind of the original classic Dice Masters cards, the D&D design, and then I kind of have an alt art design that I made myself. We're going to go over kind of just the original art because that seems to be the one that people care the most about. So if you've done everything correctly, the fonts will load when you click on this page. You should see something that looks exactly like this. This is kind of our little placeholder image here. So let's kind of walk through everything kind of on the bottom of the screen here. This little menu here, oh, I can't change the size, I forgot. This kind of contains everything you need to know. This is basically kind of an online version of Photoshop called Photopia or Photopia. Not really sure how you pronounce it. Correct me in the comments below if you know how to say this properly. But basically it works off of layers. So if you understand how Photoshop works or how layers work in general, basically you're going to be piling images on top of each other. The ones that are on the bottom are going to be covered by the ones that are on top, and that's exactly how this card works. So before we get to actually creating the card or doing that part, let's kind of just walk through what we've got here. So this top part here, this copyright side text is for this area right here. So kind of on the side of the card where it's got that little set text, set information. It's just that little text there. Is it critical for this? No, you can always turn it off. So if you click on these little eyeballs on and off, it'll turn the whole layer on or off. For now, we're just going to leave this as is. Next section, we've got the title, which is right here, subtitle right there, and the cost, which is right there. So these are all editable and they're all set up properly. We'll jump next to the card abilities. That's obviously this text here, which is going to tell you what the card will do. We'll come to the dice stats and symbols when that comes up. But essentially, all the stats that are here, the symbols, so the bolts here, and the fielding costs, and the attack and the defenses, are all contained in this section. Images is where we will place the dice images, obviously. Affiliation, we're not going to worry about that for this one here. Cost, energy type. This is how you change this image here. So if it's a bolt character, you can put the bolt here. If it's a fist character, you can change it to a fist. And it's got all the crossover stuff in there as well. Rarity is for your rarity stripe, so you can create whatever you want here, whether it's common, uncommon, rare, super rare, promo, special. You got your own thing. You can create your own. Doesn't really matter. Anything you want there. Card background is what we're looking at here. So kind of the base of the template. What we're going to do for this exercise, though, is we're going to actually change it to kind of the regular art. So in this template, we've got what we call the full art, which is the more modernized versions of the Dice Masters card. And we've got the normal art. So we're actually going to turn off the full art, and you can see all of that background stuff disappeared. And we're going to turn on the normal art. And the other thing we got to do here is, by default, the little flip card symbol pops up, and we want to turn that off. So you're going to scroll into here where you see the flip card icon, click that, it's gone. The difference between the low and the high ability text is just basically how much text you want on your card. So if you want it to be clear and simple, you're going to keep the low ability text, which is going to be the majority of your cards. If you need a wall of text, you can turn the low off and turn the high on, and you can see it's basically that much higher. So you can add more text into that area. Again, I'm keeping it on the low text because we want it to be very simple here. Okay, so let's we'll go from bottom to top. So we're gonna change the image. We don't want to use this. I think this is Captain Canuck. I can't actually remember the guy's name. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna create one of the cards for our Quantum Mania team pack. So I have already downloaded some images here. Pardon me while I look on the other screen here. So this is going to be one of the Ant-Man cards that Jackalope Spam has created. I actually already have it up on the gallery right now, but I made a typo, so we're going to remake it right here on the video. So basically, you want to be on the layer that you want to kind of cover up. So in this case, if this wasn't here, go over on top of the blank one. We're just going to be on the placeholder one. We're going to take our image. We're literally going to grab it from our folder and just drag it in. And you can see it's now above placeholder. You can use the tools here to resize it to whatever size you want. And this is a personal preference. You can basically pick anything you want. So we're going to go, we kind of want to get a little of everything in there. So something like that. And again, this is all personal preference. When you're happy, you click confirm, good to go. The main card image is done. Card backgrounds we've already done. Like we said, we want to do the normal art, which is this background here. And we're going to be fine with the low ability, what do I call it? Low ability box. Okay, we're good with that. Rarity wise, we are actually going to change that from a super rare to what I call a special. So special, I just like to differentiate it from the actual cards because I don't want this to be used for making counterfeit cards. This is more just for your own fun. I've set it to purple, but if you don't like purple, you can change this very, very easily. All you would be doing is highlight whichever one you want to change. So in this case, special, right click on it, bring up blending options, and you're going to go to color overlay. We're going to use this a lot actually. And then you literally just pick a color. So if you want orange, maybe not that orange. Let's see. There we go. Nice orange. Click that, click OK. Now we've got an orange stripe. It's all set there. Okay. If you don't want if you want to revert back, you just kind of highlight that and just turn the effects off and it'll return it back to its normal color. But if you do the color overlay, it'll change everything on that layer to whatever color you say. And again, remember that we're going to come back to that later. So we've got a rarity set. We've got, I do need the card information. That is what I am forgetting. And I hope this is still set up properly. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so we are doing an Ant-Man one. He is using, where is your information, Nick? Ant-Man, here we go. It is a fist character. Okay, so we are going to cost energy type. So we're going to click open that. Now again, there's the full art and the normal art. The difference here is the type of translucency or the way the image shows up on the card. For the full arts or the modern arts, you need a different type of image there so it shows up a little bit better. We don't want that on the normal art, so we have a whole bunch there. You can just kind of see the difference. So you see how that, see how that is darker than this one? This is what we want for this card here. Now we don't want the crossover. So again, you're just gonna click the eyeball to get rid of that, and you're gonna find the energy type that you need. And in this case, we said it was going to be a fist. You click on the fist, and that's the cost is all set up now. Affiliations, you can add that into here. If you want to put the Avengers symbol or whatever you want, you can grab that off of Google. but you'd put it in that area. Again, we'll come back to the dice at the very end. Card abilities. Now, again, you can see a whole bunch of things here. You can see the full art, normal art. Again, we want the normal art because we want the text to be a little easier to see. So when we look at the full art, again, it's got that white text with a black border on it, which looks good on the full art, looks really crappy on this art. So you just want to match to whatever you're doing. So we go in normal art, which is just basic black text. Again, you've got a high and a low. Difference between those is where it shows up. So you can see here on the high, it shows up a little bit higher to kind of fit within that higher box. The low is kind of set to work in the lower thing. The global ability section, there's a toggle for that on both of them. That's where if you want to put a global, you would put it there. The text is just set up to the other color. Okay. So we're sticking with low text, and we are literally going to copy what he has here. So we're going to go Control C in the magic folder. Then all you got to do is double click on this, and it'll let you edit this text. So you can type what you want. In this case, we're just copying and pasting. Once you've got it in there, you click confirm. Now let's pretend, just for fun, that this guy has got a keyword ability. So the Ant-Man has Overcrush, because everyone loves Overcrush. Now on the cards, it's always bold, and right now it's not. So all you would do is click on that. I believe you're going to click on the character, and you're going to click this little bold icon, and it's going to make that one bold, I hope. So you can see how it's a little bit different there. Okay. That's if you're getting all fancy pants with keywords and stuff. We are not, so we're just going to delete Overcrush. We don't want it. So we are happy with the text. That's the text. We're going to close that. Oh, not close that. We're going to close that. Cost-wise, he has set this up as, what did he say Ant-Man cost? He set it up as a 3 cost. So we just double click on that. The 5 is now highlighted. Change it to a 3. Subtitle, well, let's go title. We need Ant-Man in there. Ant-Man. I feel that font changed on me. It did. Look at that. What was the jump tap? I had my dyslexia kicking in there, and I typed out something else. So jump tap is what we want here. I'm not sure why that font changed. I probably just didn't have it installed properly on my computer. I didn't follow my own advice. But honestly, it doesn't matter. Pick whatever font you want for the title and the subtitle. I actually don't mind that as is. Okay, before we get to the dice, I am a little bit kind of anal retentive, so I am going to change this here. So again, the copyright side text, I've got a high and a low to match your box. If you're using the high text, you're going to use, if you're using the high text box, you're going to use the high copyright thing. And that's, again, you can see it just bumps it up a little bit. Takes up different things here. On the low, I'm just going to change this to, actually, I'm not going to change it at all. If you did want to change it, you would type it in there, but my font stuff has kind of messed things up. In fact, for the demo, for this card anyway, we're just going to take that off. We don't want it. So let's get to the dice images. So I said this is where we want this. Well, actually, let's do the stats first. What are Ant-Man's stats? Okay, for the one he is using. Okay, so again, everything's in layers here. So at the top here, the limit number is your kind of max dice, like how many dice you need on this. In this case, this is still going to just be a max 4. Then we've got the text max and use. Okay. Difference between those is this is more for a basic action. Use will tell you use 3 or whatever. In this case, we want it to be a character. It's max 4. Then you work your way across. So this here would be die 1, die 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what I do is I always go to die 4 first and just change all of that. So in this case is a 0, 2, 1. And again, it's all double clicking. It's all the same stuff that we've done before. And then it's a 0, 3, 1, 3, 1, And the last one is 152. 152. So now we've got everything typed in there. We don't have the colors set up. We don't care at this point. If you did want to add bursts, there are little icons for that. It just depends what you want to do and what dye you're using. In this case, we're using Ant-Man. There are no bursts. We're going with that one. So we got our stats. Oh, symbols. We did not fix the symbols. That's the other thing we didn't do. So now we got to fix die 1 and 2. So die 1 here is set as a bolt. That is incorrect for Ant-Man. So we're going to unclick bolt and we're going to click fist. Easy peasy. Die 2 and 3, same thing. It's not a bolt. It's a fist. And now, for all intents and purposes, you've got a card that you could play with. You got the stats on there. You got the energy on there. It'll work. But people want pictures. They want the images there. So let's add a symbol here. So there's multiple ways to do this. Probably the easiest way to do this, it's not the prettiest way, but the easiest way is to literally kind of copy it from a card. You can scan the card yourself, whatever works. I personally just save it from Team Builder. Again, they're not going to be pretty, but they're going to work. So let me do the same thing. I've already pre-downloaded it. So what you want to do here is go into this dice images section, click on this dice template, the blank template. So that is basically the white boxes here. So if you click it on and off, you see how they disappear. We want to be on that thing because we want to actually be right above that. So we're going to, again, just drag in our card with the proper dice image, and you can see our size is way off, okay? But the other thing you can see is it's sitting right below the numbers, which is actually important. So what I would do here is, well, probably the first thing I would do is clip off the top because you don't need it. So we're going to clip off all of that, and you're just going to hit delete. Oh, it's not going to ask me to do that. So actually, because this is the PNG, the way it's saved or the way it's JPEG'd, whatever, you actually have to right click. You have to click rasterize. It just makes it editable. Okay. So we're going to clip that, and we actually don't even want all of these ant symbols. We just need one of them. Okay. Going to deselect everything, and then we're going to hopefully just move this. So we just need to now take this, get our transform controls back on because I turned them off accidentally, and you make it bigger. So what I try to do is center the image as much as possible in where you want it. So get the numbers to be relatively the same size. Once you've got that, I think we can go a little bit more. And again, use your eyeballs here. There's no right or wrong. Okay, that's pretty decent, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the eraser tool, which is this button over here, and you are literally going to erase. I'm actually going to make that no, I'll keep it the same size. Keep life simple. And you're just going to go around the symbol as close as you want. And then erase everything else. I am going to make that bigger because I'm very impatient. So now you've got our ant symbol, which is going to be used for two things here. The first thing we're going to do is we need to move it to each of these other places because we want a symbol there and there. So the best way to do this is to right click on the ant symbol, duplicate the layer, and then just actually move it. Again, doesn't matter, just try to be as close as possible to where you were before. Then you're going to do it one more time, duplicate the layer, and again, just push it over to the last die. And now you got it basically set, but now you're going, well, wait a minute, the background sucks. And you're correct. So now we got to fix a couple other things. So the first thing we want to do is we want to change this white to this blue. So if you remember that blending option, we're going to go to color, we're going to the blending option, color overlay. And instead of orange, we're actually going to pick this symbol. So we're going to I don't know if you saw what I did there. Let's pick the orange again. I actually went over. That's why we want to keep some of the background image on there. We're going to click on that. And it gets it pretty close. Not perfect, but pretty close. Then that, again, that's all we're going for. And now the background matches what the die is supposed to look like. And then the last thing we need to do is we need to change all of the text or the fists and the numbers to the same color as the ant. So we want to make this look, we want the numbers and the symbols to now match the color. To do that, it's a little bit tedious, but I'll walk you through it here. So essentially what we got to do is we want to change each of these things to match the ant. So what we're going to do is a color overlay again. You're going to go right click on the object, blending options, color overlay, and you're going to click on this, and let's pretend it was already on the orange. You're then going to select the ant, and it's going to change the color to that. Done. Now, very important, you're going to right click, layer styles. You're going to copy this layer style. Now you can do this manually just the way I did it. In fact, let's do it one more time. Right click, blending options, color overlay, and again, it's already picked that color, but again, you can go back to the fist, pick the fist color, click OK, and OK. So now that's done. So then, like I said, the shortcut way is to right click on it, layer style, copy, and then go to each thing. You're going to go right click, layer style, paste, right click, layer style, paste, right click, layer style, paste, and you can see how those numbers are changing. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be letting me do these in groups. In Photoshop, you can do these in groups. So we're going to do these manually, and it's just going to be, like I said, right click, layer style, paste, right click, layer style, paste, right click, layer style, paste, and then right click, layer style, paste. This is now a completed card. So we've got the title, we've got the subtitle, we've got the cost, the symbols match the dice are now colored. That's how you'd add any die. You basically just kind of bring the card in from Team Builder, erase everything else, have some of the background there, and then just use the color overlay to kind of match things. Again, this is not high quality, but it's good enough for what this is. You then would save this. I think it's export as a PNG. Give it a name. So we're going to call this Ant-Man by Nick. We're going to take our cap locks off and go Ant-Man by Nick, and just leave everything as is. Save it. It'll download, and then you have got a finished card, and that's what it'll look like. And then you can do what you want with it, play with it, whatever. I hope you found that helpful. I hope I answered the questions. If I didn't, please leave a comment down below. Jump into our Discord and ask me directly. The goal is to have this work for the community, to kind of show your creative side and have fun with it. Always remember though, this is for personal use only. You are not to be creating cards for sale or production. That is against Wizkids' terms of service, and they will be unhappy and we will lose this tool. So please don't abuse it. Other than that, like I said, any questions, comments down below, I'm happy to answer them. If you need any other help, I'm there for you. And hopefully you have some fun with this, and we can create a really fun team pack. Thanks for watching. Bye.